Alright, this was welcome to the channel. Today we're going to react to this one, Misfits 007 in a nutshell. Full breakdown, 3 minutes and 37 seconds long. Let's see this video. Let's go.
Misfits 007. This is probably my favorite card so far. I'm gonna go through each one of the fights, starting with the main event, KSI versus Fournier. I should say Joe Fournier, because Fournier on itself means something a whole lot different. Don't look it up. So some people are saying that this is JJ's biggest test so far. I would agree with that if he hadn't already fought Pineda, and also if Joe was like 1 or 2 decades younger. Personally, I do think that Logan Paul was his biggest test. However, Joe is still a professional boxer, a 9-0 professional boxer. Once KSI does beat Joe Fournier, he's going to be technically the first YouTuber to beat a professional boxer. Even though when Jake Paul fought Anderson Silva, he was also a professional boxer at the time, but Anderson Silva was like almost 50. Still, it's going to be very impressive. I think JJ is going to win because Joe hasn't been very active at all. The David Haye fight, a lot of people seem to agree that it was just a glorified sparring session, and having just watched it a couple of minutes ago, I mean, I don't think David Haye was giving it his all. I don't think that Joe's going to be able to handle JJ's power, and he's probably going to lose by either a majority decision or most likely a very early KO. All right, now moving on to Deji versus Swarms. Now, this was quite the jump for Deji, going from Floyd Mayweather to Swarms. This is a fight that is a little bit difficult to predict.
This guy's a troll.
Deji obviously has a lot more experience and has shown a lot of improvement against Floyd and Fuzi. But then again, looking at the transformation that Swarms has had, there's absolutely no doubting his dedication, and it's just unfortunate that we didn't get to see much of him against Ryan Taylor, because he literally ended the fight with 1 punch. Any predictions that I make about this would have to be a straight up guess, but I'm gonna say fuck it, Deji. All right, now let's talk about Saul Poppy versus Anthony Taylor. Man, this card is stacked. This is gonna be the biggest test that Saul Poppy's had, and it's gonna be the fight where we truly get to see what he's about. I mean, he certainly looked like a decent boxer against Josh Bruckner and everybody that he fought previous to that, but Anthony Taylor went against a 12-0 professional boxer that had every advantage imaginable, including height, obviously. He's 100% more skilled than any of Saul Poppy's previous opponents, and since they're pretty similar in height, Anthony Taylor is not going to have to feel like he's looking up at a skyscraper during the face-off, so that's probably going to be a big boost to his confidence. Yeah, I just had to sneak in a short joke in there. This will be a close fight. I can definitely see it going the distance. I don't imagine any of these guys is going to gas out or get knocked out, and I think AT is going to get the best of Saul Poppy by the end of it. I don't know if it's going to be split decision. I don't think the fight is going to end early on at all. Wings versus Boogie. Now, this is a fight that's supposed to be on the pre-show, and it's difficult to predict a fight like this. I'm going to be very surprised if one of them doesn't gas out before making it to the ring. If somehow this fight does manage to go beyond 14 seconds, I'm going to guess that Boogie wins by cardiac arrest. I don't even know what weight class this is supposed to be, but Keemstar is pretty much in charge of the whole pre-show, so this could end up being a whole sumo fight for all we know. I'm just hoping that nobody gets seriously hurt. I'm hoping that nobody goes through the ring or has a sudden heart attack. I'm sure they have to go through like a proper physical test to actually make sure that they're fit enough to get into the ring, but it's still kind of scary. What I've just spoken about there is pretty much all the fights that I'm interested in, and there are some that I've obviously left out. We've got Virus versus DK Money. DK Money was made to look like an easy fight against King Kenny, but to be honest, I don't think he did so bad, and I think he might have the win against this Virus guy who is apparently like a Spanish YouTuber. I've never heard of him, so. And the rest of the card is just OnlyFans chicks. So there you go. I appreciate you watching. I have a Twitter if you want to follow me on there, and an Instagram as well. See ya.
All right. Yeah, man. You know what? It is a good video, and yeah, man. Good to see. Nice.